Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so, and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this, I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school, you did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
That's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back, it's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws, he's got an open man. Pass top 10, 5, end zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable, gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things, and I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard, and if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, open line West Virginia, your chance to weigh in on any subject that you wish. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour. Metro News Midday is powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Metro News Midday heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR Morgantown, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WKMC Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WJLS in Beckley, and our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS. Welcome to the show now, our good friend Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Howdy. Thanks for having me on.
I think this is the first time you've ever started a show howdy, so that's good.
I'm in a good mood, Dave.
Why are you in a good mood?
Well, I think we're going to get into that, right?
Okay, that's the whole reason you're here, is to tell me why you're in a good mood. Because I wondered whether you would be in a good mood after the Hope Scholarship news came out yesterday.
Well, as you're probably aware, our organization is a deep, deep supporter of school choice, of the Hope Scholarship. In fact, I had the privilege alongside several principal members of the legislature in helping to draft that bill back in 2021. The reason I'm in a good mood, the House of Delegates has rolled out a package in House Finance under the leadership of Vernon Criss, who's the chairman of House Finance, to essentially gut this program.
Okay.
They had intended to originate this bill, and just so folks understand, that's when you don't introduce a bill with a number on it. You just bring it out in committee. It was originally supposed to be originated on the passage phase. There's two stages to a committee vote. This is really inside baseball, but it's important. I'll get to a point in a minute.
I feel like I should be taking notes.
Yeah, for the the studious ones among us, you could. But basically, they were not able to take that vote that day because they don't have the votes for this legislation in their committee. At least they didn't as of a couple of days ago. I'd imagine the leadership of the House is working some of their members, trying to get them to acquiesce to kicking kids out of the Hope Scholarship. But the fact that principled lawmakers in that committee stood up to their chairman and said, "No, I don't think so. Let's discuss this. This is a big move. We need to have time." I think it's very heartening. Quite frankly, school choice is a litmus test issue for Republicans in the state, and this is an election year. Primaries in May. And I don't think that the House of Delegates has the votes to pass this. At least they shouldn't, given that there are 91 Republicans in that chamber. But even if they do, the state Senate will kill that bill. Okay. It is dead on arrival, and the governor would certainly veto it otherwise. So I'm delighted that the House of Delegates has kind of got out over their skis on this issue, and parents are letting them know that that was a bad idea.
What's the biggest, and we'll do a deeper dive into this a little bit later on. Again, we're talking with Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity. What is the biggest misconception about the Hope Scholarship, because we get texts to the show all the time, and I always appreciate all the texts we get, but we get a text where somebody will say, my tax dollars should not go for Hope Scholarships. My tax dollars should go just for traditional public schools like we went to, or like I went to anyway. I don't know about you, but like I went to, that's all it should be used for.
Well, the Hope Scholarship, the differentiation there is that when we fund a student through the Hope Scholarship, we're giving parents their tax dollars back to find the right education for their child. Actually, by the way, you're keeping 2/3 of the dollars in the government-run school system for every child that leaves to go to the Hope Scholarship. So it's actually more fiscally responsible for a child to be enrolled in the Hope Scholarship. But when those dollars hit that account, those are that parent's dollars at that point. We're giving them their tax dollars back. Think of it just like a tax cut. I cut your taxes, here it is. You should be able to use that as you see fit, in this instance, to educate your child to find the right education pathway for their unique needs. So I think that is very key. This is not a government program that's providing a handout to anyone. It's giving them their tax dollars back to find the right education for their child.
What is it that, and this, you may not be able to answer this, but I'll just ask you your opinion of this. What is it over the last couple of years that you think has made some parents want to seek out school choice? Because again, I'm old, but when I was a kid growing up, you had basically two choices. You had public school, and homeschooling wasn't even a thing. Unless there was like a medical situation or something like that, like severe medical, that wasn't even a thing when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s. It was homeschool, or it was the classic private religious school. That was it. There was no what we're talking about now. What do you think has made more parents more interested in school choice, as you call it?
Well, first, I think that there was a series of policy changes. So obviously the advent of the ability to homeschool, well, that was created. We've created charter schools. We've created open enrollment, so you can enroll your child in any public school that you want to. And finally, the gold standard of educational freedom in the nation started in West Virginia and now has been replicated in more than a dozen states with the Hope Scholarship that allows you to totally customize your child's education. One of the contributing factors to the reason those policy changes were made is because during the pandemic, I think a lot of parents' eyes were opened as to just how their children were interacting in a one-size-fits-all school system. Because the way it used to work, as I'm sure you and your listeners are aware, you were assigned to a government-run school based on your zip code.
Yeah,
so
100%.
In what realm of reality does that make sense as a service model? And so a lot of folks, I think, were perhaps disheartened by the educational rigor that was being applied in their school. And then you have instances where, children have special needs that are not necessarily able to be catered to in the government-run school setting. But ultimately, we live in a society now that is highly customizable because of technology. And this is the future of education across the country. I think it's been demonstrated. We're fortunate enough that it started in West Virginia. We were the first state with a universal education savings account in the Hope Scholarship. But now it's swept all across the country. States like Texas, states like Florida have adopted similar programs. I think Florida might have beat us, but they didn't copy our homework close enough because ours is still better in terms of the structure of the program. But it's important because what the House of Delegates is trying to do is essentially kick kids out of this school choice program. And I'll tell you why. They put a hard cap on the amount of dollars that each parent is able to utilize in the Hope Scholarship. When we drafted that legislation, we indexed it to float with the school aid funding formula so that you would never have to go back to the legislature because, every year you get 3% inflation, right? Across the board, where your purchasing power with the Hope Scholarship is going to diminish greatly. Over 10 years, it's going to diminish from around $5,000 to like $3,500. Average school tuition in the state is for private schools is around $5,000 right now. So you're in a pretty good spot. You want that dollar amount to be able to continue having the level of purchasing power regardless of inflation moving forward. And this bill pretty much takes away that purchasing power by uncoupling it from the school aid formula. So that's a huge slap in the face of parents and will eventually shutter this program because it will not be economically viable from a purchasing power standpoint for parents who want to use it.
Do you feel, again, we're talking with Jason Huffman for Americans for Prosperity, do you feel that's by design?
Absolutely. The House of Delegates is, Speaker Roger Hanshaw voted against this bill at its inception. And there's no bill that originates in a finance committee without the speaker's say so. And so obviously the House leadership has put a flag in the ground that says we are against school choice being robust in this state. And quite frankly, they did it in ways in this piece of legislation, Dave, that are ham-handed at best, because I don't think, obviously it's an education bill. Maybe you should have done it in education, where the education folks are, as opposed to a finance committee where they're just looking at dollars and cents and not considering the impact that kicking tens of thousands of families out of a school choice program is going to have, not only on those kids, but the state's economy. You think it's a big selling point economically. The House often talks about jobs first, opportunity everywhere. Well, what is a bigger competitive advantage than saying we're going to give you your tax dollars back to find the right education for your child? It's a huge selling point for us economically. Frankly, it's a job-creating bill, and they're undermining it greatly and in a way that's massively disappointing.
And I know, having interviewed you many times and others from your organization in the past, that you are a nonpartisan organization. Most people would think, though, Jason, with all due respect, most people would think that your organization as a whole does lean a little bit more Republican, or certainly conservative. I would say lean that way. But by and large, you are a nonpartisan organization. The Republicans control everything in West Virginia, super duper majority. Are you concerned, or does it surprise you that these changes were being proposed or being brought out by, because, let's face it, the Republicans, as I said, in the legislature pretty much run everything right now. The Democrats will tell you that. Are you surprised that this is coming from Republicans?
I think that the public is surprised. I'm not surprised. And I'll just be really candid with you, Dave. It is the case that we do not have a Republican trifecta in this state right now because of the leadership of the House of Delegates and their contentions around things like school choice. Their budget that they rolled out this morning in Finance Committee has no tax cuts in it, unlike what was in the Senate's proposed budget and the governor's proposed budget, which would have cut the income tax 10% and put $250 million back into the pockets of hardworking West Virginians. So you got to ask yourself, if you're not for school choice and you're not for tax cuts, who's in charge of the House of Delegates from a philosophy standpoint? And I would argue not conservatives.
But from a math standpoint, the argument that we hear, Jason, and I have not studied this as much as some people have, but the argument is we simply can't do it. The math doesn't math.
Well,
and
I think
that you would say what?
I would say the governor did it in his budget. The state Senate did it in their budget. And so I think when you have a situation in which lawmakers want to hand out money to these sort of pork barrel projects, money for special interests, or this little project over here, everybody that runs for office as a Republican is always for lower government and cutting spending until they get into the building. And then all of a sudden they go, man, I really like spending some of this money. Mm-hmm. And it's a temptation that lawmakers, I think, particularly Governor Morrissey and the state Senate have averted themselves from. They've been fiscally conservative. The House is trying to wrap themselves in the cloak of fiscal conservative in order to be tax and spend liberals. And I'll just give you a case in point. You got 91 Republicans out of 100 members in the House of Delegates. I think you've got less than half of those that are what I would consider principled across the board on a lot of the issues that AFP cares about. Now, there's a primary coming up in which I think we will be able to remedy some of that policy majority gap. But in the interim, I think this legislative session is going to be somewhat wasted on pet projects and pork that doesn't actually create jobs.
I want to ask you about the primary. We can get back to Hope as we close it out a little bit later. But I want to ask you about primaries. One particular district, and I'm not going to mention what district it is. It doesn't really matter. But one particular district that I am aware of, and I'm talking about for a Senate race, has three candidates that are running as Republicans. And to be honest with you, and look, I'm all for people running. I think the more people, the better. In this particular district, there are three quality candidates that you wouldn't think. Okay, because sometimes you have fringe candidates. We all know that on both Republican and Democrat. But you got three quality people. And when you look at them on paper, including the incumbent, you look at them on paper, you think, well, any one of these three would do great. The incumbent's doing an okay job. I'm just hypothetical. And I guess my point is does that surprise you that you would have this many Republicans running against each other now? The Democrats were in control for 83 years. We saw it some with them, but I guess when I just looked at, wow, he's running, she's running against them. They're kind of similar. Are you surprised at the number of people that are running in the primary?
Well, given that it's a hypothetical, I didn't go out and recruit that person as we did in some of these races. And so I would be surprised by that. But it's a good thing to have competition in any kind of primary sense, because what it does is it holds people to account. Accountability is so key. The grassroots speaking up, and just like you see with the Hope Scholarship right now, the reason that I'm in such a good mood today, Dave, is because the constituency that's been built around school choice is so vitriolic toward this bill right now. And it's exactly like we drew it up, right? You get people aligned on the principles of empowering parents, and they come together and hold lawmakers to account. That electorally, by having competitive primaries, very important, I think, for the policy trajectory of our state.
Do you see, as we get into the primary season right now, I mean, we're already into, somebody said on the text on yesterday, we're already into political sign season. Those are already up. But starting soon, you're going to hear more and more radio ads, which we love, by the way, because it pays the bills. You can start seeing that. You can start seeing more on social media, more billboards, more mailers and stuff like that. Do you see this as being amongst the primary people? Do you see this as being an issue, the Hope Scholarship issue?
Oh, I think that it has grown into a litmus test issue for conservatives, for Republicans. Fiscal conservative likewise has. I mean, really, if you look at the top of the ticket items for this legislative session, it's expand the Hope Scholarship and obviously defend it from a tax that would, for instance, kick all special needs children out of eligibility for the program due to enhanced testing requirements. That is ham-handed and wrong and cruel. And then tax cuts. We have a surplus. The governor's demonstrated in his budget that he was willing to get to 5% tax cut and wanted to collaborate with the legislature to find the offsets and efficiencies to get to 10%. Obviously, the House is not interested in giving any money back to the taxpayers. And so you have the governor and the state Senate that want to cut taxes. And you have, quite frankly, some very not conservative acting folks in leadership in the House who are balking at the idea of reducing any kind of spending anywhere to arrive at savings for taxpayers.
You talked about recruiting candidates. How exactly did that work? I mean, did you just contact people directly? Did people contact you? And I don't want to give away too much campaign strategy. I'm just kind of interested because I've never, as long as I've known you, Jason, I've never heard you come on and maybe I just missed the term recruiting candidates. You know?
Well, I mean, you take a look at the people that live in a particular district and cold call some folks. But
is this something you've done in the past, is recruiting candidates?
This is going to be probably the second cycle in which, but it's a very much more robust effort due to what I mentioned before. We lack a policy majority in the House for items that we consider to be conservative and good from a proven policy perspective in the House of Delegates. And we have to fix that problem. And so we are looking to find like-minded individuals who want to cut taxes, want to expand school choice, who want to cut red tape that stands in the way of the average person being able to live, work, and raise their family better. And so until we get some more folks like that into the House, we're going to keep playing this game where we're middling at best and we're squandering opportunity, because if you take tax cuts, for instance, Ohio and Kentucky have both gone to a flat tax that are a full % lower than our marginal rate. And so we're losing to them economically in jobs and people moving to the state. It doesn't help us to simply catch up to the amount of freedom and opportunity that we provide our citizens. We have to surpass the other states. And we have to do that boldly, quickly, in order to make sure West Virginia can truly thrive like it should.
We've only got about 30 seconds. So for where we are right now, a little past the midway point, what going forward? What are you keeping an eye on? Other than Hope Scholarship, what are you keeping an eye on going forward?
It is all hands on deck for the Hope Scholarship. It's our top priority. We're going to make sure that bill does not make it to the finish line, come hook or crook.
All right. Jason Huffman, Executive Director, is that your title?
Close enough.
Okay. Captain, whatever we want to call him, for Americans for Prosperity. Appreciate you being on the show today, man.
Thanks
a lot. It's 2:24, Open Line, West Virginia. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, 1-800-765-TALK, 1-800-765-8255, or text 304-TALK-304. We're back after this.
Brighten your mornings with Tudor's $5 sunrise specials. Enjoy our Mary B, egg, crispy bacon, and cheese on our buttery biscuit, loaded with more bacon than the rest. Or try the Ron, featuring a bigger, hearty sausage patty topped with egg and cheese on a biscuit so delicious you'll savor every bite. Each combo comes with crispy hash browns and your choice of coffee or iced tea, all for just $5. Warm up winter mornings with this hot deal. Available for a limited time.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Quick reminder for you, Metro News presents the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior in the state getting a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. Includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Full details available at WVMetroNews.com. Just click the Apply Now button. Deadline, though, is May 3rd. 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. WVMetroNews.com to apply. And the application deadline is May 3rd. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Daniel Woods. A bill named in honor of a Boone County woman killed in a DUI crash is moving on to the state Senate. House Bill 4712, also known as Bailey's Law, aims to increase the prison sentence for DUI causing death from 3 to 15 years to 5 to 30 years. The bill is named after Bailey Bauer, who was killed in a DUI accident on Easter Sunday last year. Last week, the driver who hit Bauer, Destiny Lester, was sentenced to 6 months of home confinement, followed by youthful offender treatment. Boone County Delegate Josh Holstein, a personal friend of Bauer's, said that simply is not enough.
I think it's outrageous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm hopeful that this rectifies it from happening to anyone else and anybody else's family.
The House passed the bill by a vote of 95-0. A fugitive wanted out of the state of Kentucky is in custody after being captured in Mingo County. Mingo County Sheriff's deputies spotted Whitney Hurley, age 36, of Freeburn, Kentucky, Thursday morning, and she was arrested after a brief pursuit in the community of Rawle. According to Kentucky State Police, Hurley walked away from the Pike County Detention Center in Kentucky Wednesday evening around 6 o'clock. A special meeting of the Marion County Board of Education is scheduled for Friday after Superintendent Donna Heston announced she won't return for the 2026-27 school year. Board member Thomas Dragich praised Heston's work with Marion County students.
She had a very good rapport with the students, recognizing them for their accomplishments.
After an executive session Monday, BOE members could not reach consensus to extend Heston's contract at $154,000 per year. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Premiering February 19th at 7:30 p.m. on Metro News Television. Your friends at Hope Gas and Greer Industries present State of Minds. Hoppy Kercheval talks with former WVU quarterback and Super Bowl champion Jeff Hostetler.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me.
State of Minds, coming to Metro News TV on February 19th at 7:30 p.m. Presented by Hope Gas and Greer Industries. Only on the Metro News Television app.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Debate continues around West Virginia about proposed transmission lines that could run through the state, particularly in the eastern panhandle. Karen Newman with West Virginians Against Transmission Justice says after visiting Charleston, she fears there are some misconceptions from lawmakers.
They're telling the legislators all kinds of things, trying to entice local county governments to accept these lines. And also there's a lot of misinformation down there about exactly how much this is going to cost.
At the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Daniel Woods.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. Heavy rain rolling through certain areas of West Virginia. We've seen a lot here in the Charleston area. In fact, there's several flood watches out. And you wondered, we've had this nice, run of pretty decent weather and some severe thunderstorms possibility in certain areas over the next 24 hours or so. And then get ready for the snow, because it's coming Sunday. Doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal in most of the state, but with wintertime in West Virginia, you have to say. But as you head east, it changes a little bit. Meteorologist Brian Hughes always telling me, just wait and see what happens. By the way, we've added him to the team here. If you'd like to, follow him on Facebook for the latest weather information. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Do want to remind you again, Hoppy Kercheval is back tonight. Another State of the Minds interview. It'll drop on Metro News Television starting at 7:30 tonight. Hoppy sitting down with Hoss Jeff Hostetler, great Mountaineer quarterback. Talked to Hoppy during the 12 o'clock hour, and he was talking about some of those big Hostetler victories, and I remember them well. Going out to Oklahoma in Hostetler's first game, his quarterback goes out and gets that win. The following year, the win over Pitt, and, of course, went on to a stellar NFL career as well and still doing incredible things in the community with various charitable organizations. All-around nice guy, too. I had an opportunity to meet him a couple years ago. He's pretty nice guy. But Hoppy sat down with him for State of Minds, and it's presented by Hope Gas and Greer Industries. It'll drop at 7:30 tonight, and you can check that out on Metro News Television, also available on all of your devices, including Roku, LG Smart TV, Samsung Smart TVs, Fire TVs as well. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Texas, thank goodness they are taking a look at only reimbursing true academic items. This has to do, editor's note, with the Hope Scholarship. Several $100s for guitars in the name of teaching their kid music, as well as specialized therapy services, which have nothing to do with education. It's so much excess spending that's nothing but people taking advantage. Fully support therapy services, but make the services fall in line with what is offered in the school systems, not private healthcare services that school-based funding is already paying for, says a texter. On immigrants, they're not citizens. They do not have rights. They're here illegally. Well, that's not entirely true. Yes, they are. I mean, when we have this discussion over immigrants and illegal immigration, I'm like many of you. It starts with illegal. That's where it starts, okay? However, if they are on American soil, they are entitled to certain rights, here illegal or not. That's argue with the courts if you want to argue with me. If you want to argue with me on that, they do have certain rights. Text says, I will say this till I die. Why should West Virginia taxpayers who are paying for public schools, as our state constitution requires, pay for private and homeschoolers' costs when the parents' tax bill to their county BOEs is less than $500 a year? Keep their taxes owed. That's it. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, just a reminder that Donald Trump is still your president. Snowflake liberals, says a texter. No. Okay. You gotta kind of pick and choose. I try to read as many texts as I can, but man, some of them I'm not going to do the name calling and things like that. You can call me names if you want. That's fine. Text says, troops being pulled from Syria, carrier groups going into Iran. Hope those troops are aware their lives are ready to be sacrificed in order to push the Epstein files out of the news cycles. I would sure hate to die so sex traffickers and pedophiles don't have to face consequences, says a texter. Text says, all this Jesse Jackson coverage is nauseating. He was a race baiter, plain and simple. Well, look, I mean, when Jesse Jackson passed a couple days ago, we spent a couple segments on this show talking about it. It was all over the news and so on and so forth. About the only thing that could push to the side briefly, the Nancy Guthrie case. You cannot, regardless of how you felt about Reverend Jackson or anyone in his role, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, you cannot not, how's that for English? You cannot not talk about it. And to realize whether you agreed with Jesse Jackson, whether you disagreed, whether you're somewhere in the middle, he was one of the most important political figures in discussions of race, and not only race, but politics in the 20th century and some of the 21st century in America. You can't not talk about it, okay? Please hear me out. I'm not trying to equate Jesse Jackson with Rush Limbaugh, okay? But I will say this. I remember when Rush Limbaugh passed away, and I did a little piece on my social media. We didn't have the network show at the time. I was doing the local show in Charleston. I did a little piece on my social media about Rush Limbaugh. Then I also did a piece of a local show in Charleston. I talked to one-time president of this company for many, many years, Dale Miller, on the air about what Rush Limbaugh meant. And there were people that just lost their minds over it. And again, I know that's a very, very, very weird comparison between Rush Limbaugh and Jesse Jackson. What I'm saying is, though, is just because you don't agree with someone politically doesn't mean that you can't cover their death or look back on the things that they accomplished in their life. But I do appreciate the text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, thank you for pointing out the hypocrisy of the Republican Party. I wish more people would. Well, I mean, it's not like it's a mission of mine to point out hypocrisy of certain members of the Republican Party. And certain, like, I'm not saying I am not, when you hear me say things negatively about certain members of the Republican Party or certain ideas, I'm not saying the party as a whole. I'm saying that there are certain things that I find very hypocritical. Case in point, for years and years and years, Republicans nationwide and statewide, and let's just focus on nationwide right now because, let's face it, for many, many years, Republicans weren't very big players in the state of West Virginia, especially where I'm from in southern West Virginia. I only point out the hypocrisy when I say that for years, the Republican Party was all about local control. We're keeping things in your towns, in your counties, in Charleston, and not in D.C., okay? And what I've seen from certain members of the Republican Party on certain things is certain ones in Charleston have said, well, okay, pick a county here. I'll pick a county that doesn't exist in West Virginia. How's that? Smith County. All right, Smith County, we know what's better for you in Charleston than what you do. We're going to set these policies under the dome for your county. And the same thing within D.C., we know what's better for you in D.C. than what you do in your county, whether it's West Virginia or anywhere else. And I had a real problem with that. That goes against everything that the Republican Party is or was, and that goes against everything that conservatives are. And one of the criticisms that I have had over the years, and full disclosure, somebody who voted for Donald Trump, is that Donald Trump is not conservative. There's nothing conservative about Donald Trump. And that doesn't mean that if you can't vote for him, vote for whoever you want. I voted for him twice. I didn't 3 times, but I voted for him twice. But he's not conservative. I mean, that's just it. 18 minutes away from 3 o'clock, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, instead of whining about kids leaving public schools, maybe the politicians and education bureaucrats should ask why parents are pulling their kids out of schools. Text says, Dave, I heard you refer to it as political sign season. Actually, I didn't say that. That was another texter that did that the other day. Public signs should not be allowed on public property. I'm sorry, political signs should be not be allowed on public property. Well, I will say this. There are, and I haven't seen quite as many yet. They're coming, but there will be. I was in, I think I told you, I made the trip down a couple nights ago down to my native land in Logan County, and I saw a lot of political signs down there. Not as many as what you're going to see, but a lot of places you see political signs hanging in West Virginia, no matter what county or city it's in, they're hanging there illegally. And so I agree with the texter. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. It's Open Line West Virginia. So time for your calls and texts. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
on the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
So it's Dennis, it's Rodman degrees out there today.
Oh, that sounds really uncomfortable.
I know it does. I know it does.
Is that legal? Is that past FCC? I don't know if you're allowed to say anything's Rodman something. That's
it's Rodman degrees.
That's like saying it's awful Diddy out there. I don't know that we can do that.
Yeah. Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is about 12 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. The state's premier outdoor sports show back and better and bigger than ever. 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. Back at Milo Park in Morgantown, Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th of March, over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, over 200 vendors, all in one place. Full details available, WVOutdoorSportsShow.com and WVRC Media Events. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text says, when is J.B. McCuskey going to bring up charges against President of the United States for child sex trafficking? On behalf of the people of West Virginia, we would appreciate it, says the texter. Text says, thank you, Secretary Warner, for standing up to the Trump administration. I'm not normally one to praise Republicans, but he did the right thing, says a texter. And all goes back to the news that broke last week when the Trump administration has asked states to turn over voting information. And our Republican Secretary of State, Chris Warner, said no. Violation of state law. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, weak rhinos in Charleston are stabbing parents in the back. They want to gut the Hope Scholarship to fund bloated county bureaucracy. The unions are winning and your kids are losing. Disgraceful. Call your delegate now. Tell them do not touch Hope, save school choice, or get replaced, says the texter. I do think, in my conversation with Jason Huffman from Americans for Prosperity, I think that, of course, it's an election year. Certain state Senate seats are up and all the House of Delegates seats are up. I think that once the session is over in some of these Republican primaries, I think that when they do go back home or they go back and start campaigning, I'll say, and maybe do either the door-to-door thing or the Meet the Candidates forums that many organizations and whatnot have. I think that's going to be a big issue. I think it's going to be discussed a lot. I'll say that one way or the other. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Texas, heard the interview earlier this week that you did with Mr. Diaz in McDowell County. I wish him the best in his campaign, and he's right. Current office holders only care about floods in the moment and for the photo op, and then they leave, says the texter. Texas says, a question I have is, with so many options other than public school, are we not concerned that the better teachers will be drawn away from public schools due to pay differential? Also, Jesse Jackson was one of the great extortionists to ever live in this country. Texas, put the Hope Scholarship on the ballot. Let West Virginians actually vote for it or against it. Why won't legislators do that? Because they know they'll lose, and the Hope Scholarship will be no more. Texas, the USA women's hockey team needs to wake up or it's over. Is that true, Weekly? The USA women's hockey team needs to wake up or it's over? Okay. Weekly says yes. He nods his head from across the window. He's my go-to for all things Olympic. Somebody, real quick, I mentioned this on the show yesterday, and I don't like to dwell on a lot of this, but I have been pretty I've been pretty open, pretty vocal about some health issues I have right now. But this is a funny part of it. Okay, I was diagnosed with cancer that's been over a month ago. And yesterday I had to go, as soon as I got off the air yesterday, I had to go for what is called a PET scan. And I don't know how many of you have ever had to undergo that. I have undergone more medical procedures in the last 2 to 3 months than I had in the previous almost 55 and a half years of my life. I mean, true statement. I have. From biopsies to things I don't even want to talk about on the air because I could lose our license, if I described what I had to do. But you know what I'm talking about. So yesterday I go for something called a PET scan. All right. And go over to nice facility, Vandalia Health, prop to them over in Kanawha City, not far from the station. So I go over there and didn't really know what to expect. And so they take me into a room and they hook me up to an IV. And apparently in my old age, people have medical professionals can't find my veins anymore. And so that was a nice process when they just kept stabbing me. They did the best they could until they finally found one. I guess it's clotted with gravy or something. I don't know, Weekly. I don't know. But anyway, they found it. And so they told me, they said, okay, brought me into a room. And they said, we want you for the next hour to sit here while this IV goes through your system. It's like it's the contrast dye, whatever it is. So we can do the scan. And we just want you to sit there for an hour. The nurse covered me in a heated blanket, handed me a remote control to a television that had every channel on it. And then she said, and if you need to use your phone, go ahead. And I'm sitting there thinking for an hour, so you just covered me up with a heated blanket. You put me in a room by myself. You gave me a remote control. And you said, we need you to sit here for an hour. Just sit and watch TV under a heated blanket for an hour. I'm good with that. I could really, really get used to that. And I did a little video. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Dave Allen Radio, I did a little video about it. So go check it out. All right, we'll wrap up the show right after this.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kirchhoff. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Welcome back to the show. Close out. Final text of the day. As a taxpayer, why should my tax dollars cover public schools if I choose to send my child to a private school? I'll end up by saying, as a taxpayer, why should my dollars go toward any school? Because I don't have kids.
Shh, quiet. I'm trying to watch a hockey game.
How you like that, Weekly?
That was pretty intense.
I'm kidding.
I know. You love them kids.
I love the kids.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I love those
the
kids.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, those kids. Huh?
Kids. I love them.
Uh-huh.
All right. What you got on the show today?
Do you like to play music when you work? Because 33% of a new survey says they refuse to work if they can't hear their tune.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I did music radio for a number of years, so
You're doing it now.
I better.
Yeah.
I better. Hotline coming up on many of these same Metro News stations. Our producer, Stephanie Pauly and Ryan Nicholson, thank you so much. I will see you once again tomorrow. Till then, have fun. I love somebody.